Hi guys, welcome to ELI, the place where you get your daily dose of inspiration for entrepreneurship. And today we have with us Mr. Nikhil Mittal, who is the co-founder of iview, a platform which enables companies to recruit candidates faster with the use of artificial intelligence. Nikhil has attended IIT Dhanbad for bachelor's in technology. Nikhil had worked for companies like Goldman Sachs for about 4 years before starting his own venture. So, hi Nikhil, welcome to Entrepreneur Lounge of India.
Yeah, hi Priya. Thanks for hosting me here.
Nikhil, would you mind introducing yourself to our audience?
Yeah, I think you already given a good introduction of mine. So yeah, I completed my bachelor's from IIT Dhanbad, and then after 4 years of work at Goldman, like during my work at Goldman, we figured out few challenges regarding recruitment. Like we saw a lot of gaps which we believed we can fill with a product. So that's what we took a leap of faith and started our own venture to solve the hiring problem.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Uh, so, tell us a bit about uh, the venture you have built, iView. What is it about? What is the product do? And a
Yeah.
brief about that.
Yeah. So sure. So our aim is to help companies hire like better talent faster. So we are starting with engineering talent, but the gaps we see, especially in the screening process, where companies do require an automated way to handle the bulk volumes. So
Okay.
that's where we are bringing in AI. We are bringing in real interview like experience
Hmm.
to make the screening both faster and efficient. So our aim is to help companies increase their conversion ratios and basically reduce their recruitment costs.
Okay.
So we have built an AI-enabled video chatbot, which is capable of asking questions, providing hints, pushing candidates whenever they feel stuck or they provide wrong answers, and it also adapts to their preference as well, like on what technologies have they worked or how they are performing during the interview.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
basically, we are inculcating the real interview ingredients in an automated platform, which hasn't been done till now. So that's what our aim is, to help companies hire better and faster.
Right. So, in fact, I was also going through the platform this morning. I think it's very intuitive and interesting also for a candidate to record a video interview. Also, it takes out a lot of manual interventions that would have been required otherwise. Uh, it's a very interesting idea.
Yeah, just to add one point. So here the candidate, I mean, it's not a recorded video interview. It's more around the AI bot has the capability to even evaluate your answers. Like the company does not have to go through those videos
Mhm.
to see what was the answer or how has the candidate done. The
Okay.
platform itself is capable of evaluating and providing a score to the candidate
Hmm.
in different aspects which an employer cares about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my next question is, how and when did you think of becoming an entrepreneur, and how did you get this particular idea? How did it all came?
Okay. So yeah, I mean, starting a company has been my dream like since even college days, like maybe a little bit even before that. I mean, I didn't knew the word entrepreneur then, but yeah, I had an idea that I would want to start my own company someday. So the thought has been there since then, but yeah, I was looking for a right time and right opportunity and like a business use case where I believe I can add some value.
Hmm.
And to the point, when did I thought about this idea? So like we have during my tenure at Goldman, we used to face different challenges regarding to recruitment, like recruitment of engineering talent, and that's where we saw an opportunity that the space is so broken. Not many people are focusing there. I mean, if we talk about technology, I mean, we have gone so far, but if we look particularly in HR tech space, it
Hmm.
seems to be a little lagged behind. So that's where we thought, okay, if there is a problem and we see a solution, why don't we ourselves fix it?
Right.
So around somewhere mid of last year, we thought, okay, let's take a chance and think about it. How can we solve this problem exactly? And then in this year, April, we started this company as our like full-time job.
Okay. And how, how did your family react to it? I believe you left your job, a well-paying job with Goldman Sachs. How did your family react to it? Did they support you?
So yeah, I mean, it was nothing new to them. They have been hearing about my dream of starting a company since my early college days.
Okay.
So I mean, it was nothing new to them, and yeah, and they were quite supportive of it even since then. So, and I mean, I think the another reason is, so my father himself is a businessman, so
Mhm.
he, I think, is comfortable with the risks that comes with business and the rewards it can pay off. So
Okay.
I think that thing has been there in our family since
Mhm.
long time. So I think it was, so they were they are quite supportive of it, and it didn't come as a surprise because I have been telling about it since like my college days.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was nothing new to them. Yeah, I mean, they did advise that, yeah, they did ensure I have thought through it, that I want to leave a full-time paying job and
Mm.
start. So I mean, yeah, they had few concerns around that, but yeah, once they were comfortable that, yeah, I have think through it, I mean, they're quite supportive of it.
Okay. And did you have a financial runway to pursue it? You know.
Yeah, I do have sufficient financial runway to pursue it. I mean, thanks to my job at Goldman and like thanks to my family support as well. So yeah,
Okay.
I do have sufficient fuel.
Okay. Nice. Uh, so tell me a bit about how were the initial days. How did you arrange funds for this particular venture? What was the first thing you did, and then how did you find your co-founders and team to build the particular product? How was it?
Okay, so yeah, I'll take first the question of co-founder maybe, and then we can talk about
Sure.
how what the initial is, just to put it in chronological order,
Mm.
right? So yeah, I mean, my co-founder is my. So I met him at Goldman during like our initial training. So Goldman gives a very good fun and learning training when you join it, and
Mm.
during our, like when I joined, it used to run for 2-3 months long, and
Okay.
fortunately me and my co-founder Sarthak were in the same batch, so that's where we met, we became friends, and the friendship grew with time.
Okay.
So yeah, so we have like talked about multiple times that, yeah, both of us wanted to start up something, but yeah, I mean, we didn't took a decision to start together until I would say last year February or March or so.
Mm-hmm.
So that was when Sarthak came up with an idea to, and he asked me if I was serious enough to start something up. So we discussed about pros and cons of that idea, and I mean, yeah, so then we thought about, yeah, I mean, we do, both of us did want to start, but I mean, the only thing was, we had like few more ideas, so which of them we would want to pick. So
Okay.
then we just like decided on one idea which we find the most relevant to our background, our experience, and like our strength
Okay.
and like our vision. So we thought, okay, we'll just pick up this idea and start working on it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So.
that was a co-founder. And talking about initial days, yes, initial days, I would say were full of brainstorming.
Mm.
We were, I mean, still working at Goldman, both of us. So like we used to meet, brainstorm about the idea, how we want to uh, so what are the problems, what are the solutions available in the market, where do they lack, and how we can bring innovation there. And then like once the solution is there, how can we scale it, how can we make it a viable business.
Okay.
So that was in terms of when we were in the ideating phase.
Hmm.
And once we left our jobs and started executing it, yeah, then the initial days were around talking to few initial customers to see there are people who are ready to buy it if we build such a product. And
Okay.
once we had that conviction that there are sufficient people who want to buy it, then we just went ahead and built it. So both of us are software engineer by background,
Okay.
so we didn't had that problem of that we require someone else to build it for us. So yeah,
Okay.
both of us built it from scratch and launched our first MVP.
Okay. Uh, then tell us a bit about how you got your first customer. How once the MVP is done, how did you pitch it to the potential customer?
Yeah, so once our MVP was done and up and running live in the market, so then we started reaching out our people from our network, our own college seniors, and like other people as well who we felt were maybe either we found that they were hiring or looking for such a solution. So like our initial reach out was primarily from leveraging our own connections, and that's where we did a trial with a few customers. We are still in trials with like a few others. And then like I mean, one of them obviously after trials was happy and like saw the ROI which we claimed that we are going to basically save this much dollars to your firm. And yeah, they went ahead with becoming our first customer.
Okay. Okay. So, based on what you have had dreamed initially, uh, how far have you reached in terms of milestones, and what is your vision where you want to go?
Yeah, so in terms of milestones or progress, yeah, we are moving quite with a quite reasonable speed. We have launched our product in the market and got our initial customer and doing trials with few others. So I think in terms of where we have reached, we are in the stage where we are like acquiring more and more customers.
Hmm.
And like we are working on our sales and marketing part. So marketing is also another piece I think where we need to focus upon now to gain more traction. So
Okay.
that's in terms of like where are we. And sorry, what was the second part of the question?
The next part is what is your vision?
Yeah, so in terms of vision, our aim is to remove. So there are multiple aspects of it, right? A, when like when a company or anyone has like application in volumes.
Hmm.
And so like when you use the current automated platforms, like many a times like the companies lose out on good candidates. And
Hmm.
the reason being, for example, the real interviews are generally assistive and adaptive in nature. By that, what I mean is, like there is an interviewer who will basically help with small hints, push the candidate, right? And
Right.
that's how you differentiate between a candidate who is weak on fundamentals versus a candidate who just need little guidance, right?
Hmm.
And another thing is you do care about what he has worked in past and what are his strength areas during interview.
Hmm.
So we want to ensure these comes in an automated fashion so that the companies don't lose out on the good candidates.
Hmm.
And another thing is also like when you streamline hiring with such automation tools, you also remove human biases. So our
Okay.
vision is the hiring shouldn't be such a problem for companies, and it shouldn't be such a costlier affair as well. So currently hiring is like a pain point. I mean, if you look at the companies, so we were just going through a data report and we found like approximately 25 to 30% of the openings which a company wants to fill like in near future, like
Hmm.
go vacant for months, right? So that is something we would want to help companies there, so that their growth plans don't get hindered because of the unavailability of the talent.
Hmm.
So that's our vision, is that the company should be able to hire better candidates faster.
Okay. So, since you mentioned about automation in recruitment, I would like to debate you on that particular note. Uh, so, even I myself have been through some automated recruitment process. Like you have to fill uh, a a questionnaire through a chatbot, or for example, you know. The simplest use case, you get rejected because you have not stuffed keywords in your resume. Your The software will reject you because there is the keyword is not there. So these sort of things are happening. How do you think further automation is not going to create bigger issues? I think a lot of companies are also moving away from automation. They had tried and they're moving away. uh,
Yep. Yeah, I think you have raised a very valid point. But to so there are different aspects to it. So the first part, sourcing, right? So what I think you have mentioned is around sourcing, right?
mm,
That
mm,
where a particular system is doing a match with your profile to the job description, right?
mm,
So I do agree there such kind of things will keep happening till companies make their job description more objective. And similarly, there has to be some objectivity even in the resume itself, right?
okay.
So to provide two pointers there. One, currently we are not on the sourcing part. So
Mm,
these problems exists when it is difficult to provide a deterministic solution, right?
mm,
So what we do is, we basically, the companies source the candidate themselves,
okay.
and then we help them evaluate their skills.
Mm,
So there, the decisions made by the systems are deterministic, right? It's not that we look for certain keywords, right? There, the decisions are binary. The decisions are whether your answer is correct or whether your answer is incorrect. We
mm,
do provide assistance to make sure you reach to the right answer. And even the kind of the questions we use,
mm.
right? Even the kind of the questions we use, we make sure that we are able to judge those questions deterministically instead of judging those probabilistically or non-deterministically. So I do agree to that part, that if people don't really put a focus on the accuracy, put a focus on how accurate the systems are, such incidents may happen. But
Mm.
yeah, I mean, we are very focused on that part, that our decisions have to be accurate, because we cannot really afford losing a good candidate because of the inaccuracy of the system.
That is true. That is
So yeah, I think, yeah, so there I think our particular system, we don't really have such areas where the decisions are based on certain heuristics or certain keywords. So I think to that part, I think we are quite safer. I mean, in fact, so I mean, what another point I would want to add to what we are doing is, in terms of like evaluating their skills, when
true.
you put a human angle to it, I
Mm,
mean, the judgment of two people can vary drastically, right? The same
exactly.
candidate can get rejected by one person, and whereas can get accepted by another person, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
in your initial rounds, you would want to provide a chance to the all the candidates on the same scale, right?
Mm, mm.
So that's where we come into picture.
Okay.
So we do evaluate them on the same scale to tell you that whether this candidate is worthy of pursuing further rounds or not.
Mm, mm. Sure. I think the discussion is endless, so we will now get back to our usual course. So now I'll get into the. Uh, So my question, the next question is, what are the challenges you faced along the way when you decided to become an entrepreneur, and which of those challenges were not foreseen by you?
So I would say not foreseen, but yeah, I can mention about the challenges where the actual gravity of those came out to be a lot different than what we thought, right?
Mm,
So I mean, when we were in the initial phases, when we were planning, so I mean, for us, building a product which market requires, which customers are happy, we
mm,
thought this is going to be the biggest thing,
okay.
right?
Mm,
But during the course, what we realized was building the product was the easiest thing.
okay.
Making sure this is suitable for the customers maybe was next thing. But yeah, we did trials with certain customers and took feedback from them, and they are quite happy with it, and like they see the ROI.
Okay.
Whereas what now we see is building a brand which people trust
Mm,
is a significant challenge, which
right.
maybe we didn't realize with the same gravity while we were planning.
Mm,
So that's one challenge I would put, that right now, what we are facing. So right now we are in the process of building a brand so that which people can trust.
mm, mm,
I mean, we are quite new. So I mean, obviously building a brand takes time. So
right.
that's what we are in process.
Right. And also, many people talk about COVID when I ask this question. How has been COVID working out for you? Is it a positive thing or negative thing for you?
I would say, I mean, given that we are in the very nascent stage, we
Mm,
like for past months we were building the product and just releasing it to a certain number of customers.
mm,
So from that point of view, COVID didn't really impacted us much.
mm,
From the path here on, I think in short term, it may present some challenges as not many companies are hiring, but in long term, once this thing is over and the all the businesses are on back, so they would certainly start hiring the people which have been laid off, and that's what will bring us an ample opportunity to us.
mm,
That yeah, I mean, a lot of hiring is going on, a lot of
mm,
interviews are taking place, and that's where such an automated system can definitely add a lot of value to the companies. So
mm,
yeah, in short term, it may create some challenges, but yeah, in long term, we see positive
mm.
impact out of it.
Also, the digital adoption by not only companies but also the uh, um, candidates as well is going to be a positive thing for your company.
Yeah, yeah, very true. Yeah, even the COVID has led to a massive digital adoption
Mm,
across all the areas, not just hiring. So yeah, that is also going to be a positive point for us.
right. So now would like to know who is your role model when it comes to entrepreneurship? Who inspires you the most? Whom do you follow?
I would say it will be difficult to name one. I can name a few,
You can.
which I uh, which I appreciate a lot for different reasons. So one of them is definitely Elon Musk. I don't have to state why,
Right.
and like the kind of work he has done. The
Mm-hmm.
another one I would say is Nitin Kamat from Jiroda, and the reason like I'm inspired from him a lot is the way he has bootstrapped the company
Right.
for and make it a profitable business
Mm.
at such a scale. I mean, he's definitely like inspires a lot.
Right.
And then definitely from my college days, I have been looking up to like Sachin Bansal, and
Mm.
obviously he's an inspiration to a lot many as well.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, another one is Sachin Bansal. So I would name these three as my role model.
Okay. Uh, so how do you compare entrepreneurship with a 9 to 5 job? I think you have been to a 9 to 5 job and now you are into entrepreneurship. How do you compare both of these things?
I think it was never 9 to 5 job for me, to be honest. I mean, both. It was flexible enough, and it was definitely, uh, I would say, require more time at times. So I mean, I would say maybe it was 11 to 8 or 11 to 9 job for me.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, going to the gist of your question, I think the way in which it differs the most is when I was working at Goldman, however, like irrespective of the how much work was there or like how challenging the situations were, I
Mm,
mean, and how long you are working, but that used to be there till I was in office. Like once you come home, generally I used to like try not to bring the work home
mm,
in terms of the occupancy of your mind.
mm,
Whereas in entrepreneurship, irrespective of how many hours you put in, whether you put in like hours equal to your job, you put more hours, you put lesser hours, the
okay.
thing which differentiates the most is irrespective of whether you are working or not, the challenges, the work occupies your mind significantly. Like it's always there in your mind that what are going to be our next step, what is going to be our next growth hack, how are we going to market next, how are we going to acquire next customers. So
Mm,
I think that is the biggest difference, like in terms of like work occupying your mind throughout the day
mm,
as compared to occupying your mind only when you are in office.
okay. So how let me tell you about our audience. Our audience comprises of people who are young, who are students or maybe graduate or in their first job also, and they're all aspiring to become entrepreneurs in coming days. So, how do you suggest they start their entrepreneurial journey?
I would say before starting their entrepreneur journey, they should ask themselves why do they want to do it in the first place,
Okay.
right? What is their reason of starting a startup?
Mm,
Yeah, once they have that clarity in the mind that there is the reason, then yes, they should look at different challenges from areas around them. They should look for which particular challenge they have an insight which the industry is not working on,
mm,
or they have unique skill set which because of which they will have, I would say, a biased advantage and uh, over others working in the similar field. So once they have that conviction that they want to start up, they this is the problem and they do have a solution for it. I mean, it's all about convincing yourself. If you are able to convince yourself
mm,
for an idea, for a solution to start up, I
mm.
think, yeah, there is no right time. You should go ahead.
Okay. I think we have come to the end of our interview. So my last question, rather, it would be your final message to potential entrepreneurs of our country.
Uh, I would say keep hustling. Do have certain checkpoints where you sit, retrospect what you have done, how has it gone, how can you improve, and yeah, I mean, keep hustling.
Okay. It was a pleasure to have you here at ELI. I think our audience would have got lifetime lessons from this video. Thanks for your time and our best wishes to your venture.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Priya, for having me here. Yeah, bye.
Viewers, you can follow Nikhil on LinkedIn by searching for Nikhil Mittal. Also, do visit their website by typing iview.ai. So, whom do you want to have here at ELI for the next episode? Do let me know in comments below. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel. We will be back before you know it. Stay tuned to Entrepreneur Launch of India.